afternoon and welcome to this Debt Advice live session. My name's Rich, I'm the Chief Executive here at St Andrews Community Network, and I'm joined again by one of our debt advisors, Jenny. Apologies for the technical difficulties that we've been experiencing. We've just had to ambush some equipment from the building and switch things around a little bit, but hopefully everything will be okay now. So for the next 40 minutes or so, we are going to be talking through some of the challenges that people might be facing with their finances, particularly those people who are finding themselves in debt. And for this session, we are focusing particularly on those aged 65 and over. So the challenges that those aged 65 and over may be experiencing with their finances and answering some questions that have come that relate to people in that age bracket. Now, here at St Andrews Community Network, we do some specific work with people and targeted work with people over the age of 65, which is wonderfully funded by Independent Age and the John Lang Foundation. And so with that funding, we're able to reach those who are age 65 and over and provide advice, targeted advice, both in the area of debt advice as well as welfare benefits advice. So if you are in that age bracket and you'd like to reach out, either drop us a DM, private message via Facebook, send us an email at media@standrewslive.org.uk, or head over to our website, standrewslive.org.uk, and scroll down, and there's an option there to chat to someone to ask for some support. And if you would like your question answering as we go through the next 40 minutes or so, please drop those questions in the comments box on Facebook, drop us a DM, or send us an email, and if we get a chance, we'll get through to those and answer them today. And as with last time, any questions that we don't get answered, we will publish an answer to those on our social media channels. And then we hope to do this again, hopefully with equipment that doesn't fail just as we're launching it, and hopefully it'll go a little smoother next time, but at least we're here at last. Jen, I think that's all that I needed to say by way of introduction. The only thing I should add is to give a little introduction into the organisation. So St Andrews Community Network has been in operation for 20 years, just over 20 years, and is based in Liverpool. And we are involved in two things. One is building financial resilience through the provision of debt and welfare benefits advice, and our debt and benefits advice service is based in Clubmoor in North Liverpool, but reaches across the city region there. Yep. And then the second thing is building food security, and that involves us hosting the North Liverpool Food Bank, which operates across 9 distribution centres across the city. So lots of work going on every day in Liverpool that we are supporting, and you can find out more about that from the website via standrewslive.org.uk, or if you're watching us on Facebook, have a little scroll through and look at some of the things that we're involved in, day out. So, on to some debt advice matters, and again, this session particularly focusing on over 65s. So Jen, I'm going to ask you some questions, okay. And also we're going to keep a keen eye on the comments section as well to see if anyone else has got some questions, as well as looking in on the DMs and checking those emails. And I should add that as questions come in, we anonymise them, so we take names away and answer those in that manner. So Jen, first question. Yep. I'm due to turn 55 soon. Can I use the lump sum from my pension to clear some of my debts?
So the short answer is yes, you can.
Brilliant.
You can look at using them to either clear or reduce. You'd have to look at the amount that you can withdraw against how much your debt is. Obviously bear in mind that anything you do take out is going to leave you less money going forward that you will get every month once you retire. And then look at different payment offers, so be good luck. Even if you haven't got the full amount, you can look at full and final settlements. Some creditors will take a lump sum just to get it out of the way rather than minimal amounts each month. But yes, you can.
Brilliant, thank you, great news. Second question, okay. And the question is, can my creditor take part of my pension to clear my debt?
No. Creditors can't touch pension savings, whether you're over 55 or not. So some creditors will put pressure on you, but obviously once you hit that age, they'll know that you've got some sort of pension. But as long as you keep it in your pension pot, they can't. If you do take it out and put it into your bank, then yes, they might be able to demand that you use that money to clear your debts.
Okay,
But if you keep it in your pension, no.
great. So the kind of takeaway advice from that is to keep it in your pension pot.
Yeah, unless you actually want to use it to clear, don't just take it out and think, oh God, hold it.
Great,
Because they might ask for it then.
great. Okay, so next question. My husband died 6 months ago. We own a property together. Am I now liable for his debts?
Right, so in the short, yes. So when someone dies, their debts are left in the estate. So if you own any property that is in their name or any money left in the bank, then you would be expected to clear those debts. If the debts are more than what is left, then obviously the remainder would go. But yes, you would be liable to pay off those debts if you've got an estate. So any savings in the bank, any property, any pensions that have been left,
Okay.
it would be down to the surviving party to clear those debts.
Okay, thank you. Next question. I have had a creditor trying to chase me for a debt owed by my late wife. Can they do this? We didn't own a property and there weren't any savings.
No,
Great.
is the short answer. So if there's no estate, there's nothing for them to chase. The creditor may ask to see like death certificate and bank accounts from the deceased are closing to make sure there was no money
Yeah.
left in it. If they all turn out to be true, then no, unless you have been a guarantor or a co-signer. So if you've took out a joint mortgage and there's still mortgage left, then that mortgage will pass to the surviving partner.
Okay.
But yes.
Great, thank you. And I should just say there may be some of you who are watching this and have family members or friends who are in the age bracket of 65 and over, and so if there's anything that Jenny says in answer to any of these questions that you think, oh, that's actually really useful, then please do point those people in the direction of this video. It'll be left up on our Facebook and YouTube channels for people to use and come back as a reference point. But I should also say that there's nothing better than getting in a room with Jenny or one of her colleagues and asking some of those questions and receiving that advice. And we do that advice face to face, and we do that advice. We'll talk about the advice process a little bit shortly, but we do that advice at your pace as well, and in the way that's most comfortable for you. So we will talk about that shortly, but as Jenny's given some really solid answers already about some of those things that we know people often ask us, thought it'd be useful just to encourage you to share this video with those who you think might find value in it. So next question, Jen. I have received a fine for not having a TV licence. I thought it was free for pensioners. Is this fine correct?
Right. So there has been a change in the TV licensing process. So a lot of people did think once you turn pension age that you get a free licence. That has been changed. So now you only get a free licence if you are over 75 and you get pension credit, or you live with someone that gets pension credit. If you don't fall into that category, then yes, you do need a TV licence and the fine will be correct.
Okay.
It is a criminal fine.
Yeah.
So it does need to be dealt with urgently.
Okay. And that brings me on to a point that I wanted to make. And so if you get that type of communication, obviously it can be hugely stressful and worrying, and sometimes you don't know what to do or who to reach out or how to reach out. And so that's the moment when you can find us via our website, standrewslive.org.uk, and just scroll down and there's a little section there where you can seek some support, or you can send us an email at media@standrewslive.org.uk. You can give us a call, and our number's at the bottom of our website. What other way could they? Oh, you can drop us a DM or a private message on Facebook, Instagram.
Or if you're local, we do a deck drop in on a Monday afternoon where you can just turn up from 12:30 to 3:30.
Brilliant, 12:30 to 3:30 on a Monday if you live near our offices in Clubmoor. So, Jen, I think this is probably a good moment to chat to you about the advice process. Obviously, It's a kind of daunting process, and when you get, for example, in the case of that TV licence question, if you get that concerning communication and you know that there could be criminal implications for that, but even any communication like that can be worrying, can't it? What would you suggest to do? Obviously, you would suggest to get in touch with us. So talk us about that, talk us through that, and then I'd say it'd be helpful to talk us through the process that people go on when they receive debt advice from us, right through from pressing the doorbell at our buildings.
Okay. So if you are coming to the building, obviously you would have been booked in for an appointment for us, so you've either referred yourself or come through a referral agent. So like your GP, NHS, there's a few local agencies that refer into us. We would then call you, book you an appointment, you'd come to the office, you would sit with either myself, Julianne or Kev on the debt team in a room that is just us, so there's no public, you don't sit with amongst other people, and then we would sit and we would go through all your debts, any other issues that you've got. If you're not on the right benefits, we've got a benefits team as well, so we could look at that in-house, and then we would go through like income and outgoings to make sure whatever we're offering in form of your debts is manageable. We get a lot of people that turn up and they'll be like, no, I don't go out, I don't get a takeaway, I don't do this and I don't do that, and then we get to the end of the process and they've got loads of money left, and we're like, and they go, but I haven't, and I'm like, then there's something missing. So the biggest thing is to be honest, like, it's your money, what you're spending it on is entirely up to you, but we need to have a realistic idea, because the last thing we want to do is offer a creditor £100 a month if you've only got £20 a month left in the building, but don't want to tell me that you have a takeaway once a week.
Yeah.
It's perfectly fine to have a takeaway.
Yeah.
We have quite a few in the office, but honesty is best policy, and then we will do as much or as little as you want. We can sit and ring creditors in the rooms. We've all got computers and phones in there, and everything can be done while you're with us. Or if you want to take that information away and do it yourself, you can take the financial statements that we will print off for you, and you can send them to your creditor.
Brilliant. So the beauty of the way that we work is that we work at your pace and work in the way it's almost kind of directed by you. We kind of give you the options, and then you can tell us as how little or much involvement you want us to have. And I mean, there's a few other things. When people arrive, the kettle's always on. The buildings are kind of nice.
Costco pastries.
Yes, nice pastries sometimes. The building's a nice, welcoming environment. Apart from the room that I've just dismantled to try and get some kit to make this work, which is going to have to be reassembled afterwards. But yeah, there's always someone here to greet you, to look after you, and then to guide you through the process. And as Jen alluded to there, the focus will be on supporting you with your financial challenges, but then we also look after the whole person, and so if we need to get someone else involved to support you, then we're able to do that, signposting, and I would say this, but every member of the team here is super compassionate, super caring, and takes a really kind of gentle approach to supporting you through the process. So, next question, Jen.
Okay.
I'm worried about contacting creditors. Can a debt advisor speak to them on my behalf? You've kind of already slightly touched on this.
Yeah. Yes, we can. Any debt advice agency can. You will need to sign a form of authority that gives permission for an advisor to speak on your behalf. If you're there and we're ringing, then it can be given verbally over the phone. You would speak to the creditor and say, yes, I give them permission, and then you would pass the phone over to us. If we're doing it via email or letter, then a form would need to be signed, because that has to be sent to the creditor with the letter to keep it on file. So then once we've got that on file, we can communicate as much as we need to then with the creditor without going back to the clients each time.
Yeah.
But yes, we can.
Brilliant. Great stuff. So, next question. And this is something that comes up quite often, I think.
A lot, yeah.
And it is, I'm worried about scams and people trying to get money from me. How can I tell the difference between legitimate debt advice and a scam?
Right. So there is an easy way. It can be a little bit long-winded, but all debt advice has to be regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority.
Yeah.
If the technology is working, you will see we have put ours up on this, which is the FCA badge.
So it was working early, Jen, before,
Right, okay,
before,
it's not now.
before it all went
It is on the
horribly
bottom
wrong.
of our website,
Yeah.
and we will put a link in the comments. You can go onto their website, you can type the name of the agency in. So if anybody wants to click on the link now, if Charlotte's put it in, you can type in St Andrews Community Network, click debt advice, and it will come up that we are registered with a number. If they are not on that register, they are not allowed to give debt advice.
Okay.
All debt advice has to be regulated. And then there are rules and restrictions that we have to follow on all of that.
So whilst you were just doing that, I was very subtly putting those things on the screen. No one saw that, did they? They definitely didn't see me moving the mouse about. And unfortunately, in the change of cameras, it's kind of changed the shade of the kind of brightness and things like that. So you should be able to see just in the bottom a little RFCA registration peeking out below, and link to the website standrewslive.org.uk. But hey, if you go on standrewslive.org.uk and scroll to the bottom, you'll be able to see that. And next time we do this, Jen, we'll make sure the kit works beforehand,
Yeah.
and we'll make sure that things are showing up on the screen as they should be doing.
Well, we'll say if you're ever in doubt, just don't share any information. Don't give out any personal information that people would be able to identify you from
Yeah.
before you check that. Any legitimate company is not going to mind you saying, I'm going to go and check to see if you're registered first before I give you any information.
Yeah.
And if they do, they do for a reason, and they're probably not going to be on that register.
Yeah, that's great. Next question. Can I still get help with debt if I don't use the internet or feel comfortable with online forms again, form we get quite regularly?
Of course you can. We have everything paper-based. So again, obviously, if you aren't comfortable with the internet, then obviously you're not going to be referring yourself in through our website, but you can just call us, and we can book you an appointment in. You would then come to the office. We would do everything paper-based, so all the forms would be paper-based, which we would then scan on. But you don't need to do anything. You can bring all your letters. Everything can be done on good old-fashioned pen and paper.
Brilliant, that's great. Next question. My partner managed our finances, and since they passed away, I'm unsure what to do. Where can I get help sorting things out?
Right. So this would depend. If it's help with budgeting, setting up direct debits and things like that, it is a service we offer here in our budgeting appointments. If it's help to let agencies know, like pension or DVLA or passport or things like that, it's not something any debt charity is going to be able to do. But there is a step-by-step guide on the government website that will tell you, I think it's 8 steps, and it'll give you all the links of where you have to go, who you have to tell, and then they can do it.
Brilliant.
But yeah, if it's setting up direct debits, help with budgeting because you don't know how much everything is, we can sit and go through all that in a budgeting appointments in person. That's perfectly fine.
Great stuff. So, and again, the process for getting one of those appointments would be to go on the website standrewslive.org.uk, send us an email via media@standrewslive.org.uk, or drop us a DM or private message on Facebook or Instagram, or head to our website and scroll to the bottom of the website and you'll see our number on that website. And Charlotte's posting links in the chat as we speak that are linking you through to some of the things that Jen's talking about as she's answering these questions.
We were prepared in some ways.
We
had
were.
the links ready.
We had the links,
Yeah.
we just didn't have the equipment. Oh dear. Question 10. Are there benefits or financial support schemes for people over 65s that I might not know about?
So there are specific benefits. I'm going to read these off a list that was kindly supplied by our benefits team.
Brilliant.
So once you reach state pension age, you may be eligible for the following benefits. So we've got pension credits, attendance allowance, which for those that aren't aware is PIP once you turn pension age. Winter fuel payments, which is now automatically sent direct to the person, to the bank accounts, senior rail card, free local bus pass, or NHS prescriptions. And then, sorry for notes, but it's not my area, so I'm just going to read it out. So there's qualifying conditions for some of the benefits. So the easiest way to find out what you're entitled to is to get a full benefit check done. In some situations, being awarded a disability benefit can entitle you to pension credits and other benefits that you wouldn't be entitled to without the disability side. Our benefit advisors are more than happy to do a free benefit check for you, which again can be done over the phone if you can give us the information, or in person at the office. They're happy to do that either way. Or if Charlotte's listening, we will put a link to a benefit calculator that you can put your own information on. That will give you a rough idea, but I would still always say get one done by a qualified benefits advisor.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing to stress when we're doing these sessions is that Jen is qualified, trained, and has the skills and experience to answer these questions as we're going through these sessions, but there's nothing better than arranging for that face-to-face appointment if you need some debt or benefits advice, and then obviously when it comes to our benefits advice service, we're also able to have those phone appointments and have those phone conversations with you. And just to give you some assurances, so all of our advisors are trained and specialist in what they do, and certainly
it's a lot of training.
Yeah, and it's a lot more effective than some of the equipment that we've tried to use for this. Moving on to the next question. My mum needs to go into a care home. She owns a property which we're having to sell to cover the costs. We've just found out that there is a charge on the property. Does this debt take priority over paying the care home costs?
Yes, it will. So if you've gone into a care home through the council or social services, there would have been a financial assessment done to work out how much of the care costs you owe. If you found out about the debt after that, then any money that is owed to that once you sell the property, they will be paid first, and then the remaining amount will be used towards the care costs. But then you would probably need another financial assessment from the council, because they would have done it based on the value of the whole property. You could owe 50% of that out on the charge that you were unaware of, so you might not have to pay the same amount for your care costs, because you won't have the same equity left in the property. So to always make sure, if you find out anything like that after, is to have the financial assessment re-looked at. Otherwise you'll be paying a lot more than potentially need to.
Brilliant. It's really good. Jen's so good that she can give that advice on a camera whilst it sounds like a train's going past the building. I think there's some shutters going up and down, and my phone keeps pinging on and off. So yeah, that's but really helpful. Thank you, Jen. Next question. Am I still eligible for a debt relief order now I have turned pension age? Can you tell us a little bit about what a debt relief order is? Some people may have heard it as a DRO, and then in telling us about that you can ask the question.
It is a form of insolvency, so it has criteria that you need to meet to be eligible. Age isn't one of them, so Brilliant. Just because you were 65 yesterday and you're 66 today doesn't mean you're automatically not going to be entitled to it. It's based on income and outgoings, how much you've got left, any assets, and what it does is ultimately it will wipe any debts that you owe up to the value of £50,000 if you meet those qualifying conditions. So if you met them yesterday when you were 65, the likelihood is you'll still meet them today when you're 66.
Correct.
So
it's really helpful. Thank you for that. Now, we've got some bonus questions, Jen. And,
Okay.
and I think that given that we started late and that maybe the quality of this is a little questionable today, I think this should be our gift to people watching. And actually, as I was scooching through the bonus questions earlier, I thought they'd be it'd be great to have
Okay.
the content out there for people who are watching this. Maybe at a different point, or if you're watching this and you think that someone you know, a family member, a friend or a colleague might benefit from listening in and having the answers to some of these questions, please do pass it on. But I think it would be good to answer those questions if you're all right with that.
I'm fine with that, yeah.
Brilliant. And just to say, again, if you want to reach out for support and you go through tough family finances, and that could be you want some debt advice support, or as Jen's mentioned, we have a welfare benefits team here as well. Please do so. Hit our website by standrewslife.org.uk. Drop us a private message or a direct message here on Facebook and or over on Instagram, and send us an email, media@standrewslife.org.uk, and then on the website standrewslife.org.uk. Scroll down and you'll see our phone number on there too. I keep saying that because the way things are going today, Jen, I start saying the phone number and I forget it. So if you know it, I know it, but I'm just now questioning whether I do know it, then you can read it out for people. Do you not?
I do, but I'm done myself.
0151 226 3406. There you go.
Okay.
That's right, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Good. 0151 226 3406, and someone will be able to connect you once you're through to us to a debt or benefits advisor, and we'll get you an appointment booked in. Jen, the bonus questions.
Okay.
Question 1, I'm living on a fixed pension income and the cost of living keeps rising as we're all experiencing.
Yeah.
What should I do if my bills are becoming harder to afford?
So we would start by making sure you were getting the right amount of income, which is where we say to make sure that you're getting a benefits advisor to do a full benefits check to make sure you're getting everything that you're entitled to, so that we can work out the budgets. And then they have what they call social tariffs, so people on benefits can get a social tariff for their water, so they pay a set amount. Broadbands, mobile phones, they used to do an energy one, but they've replaced that with £150 grants now. We will be putting a link to the social tariffs, and then we can look at reducing other bills, budgeting properly. If we can bring some of the expenses down through the social tariffs, that'll free some money up somewhere else.
Brilliant. Great stuff. Second question on the bonus questions. If I'm struggling with debts, could I lose my home, or are there protections for older people? I know this is a question we do get on occasion.
It's probably more regular than that. I don't know why, but we do. Unfortunately, no. There's no protection in place just because you've turned pension age. If you own a home, there's potential risk that the creditor, depends on how much you owe them, could actually force the sale of the property to claim their debt back or put a charge against the property. So the best thing to do would come and speak to us, and we can go through all available options to prevent that from happening, hopefully, where they're not going to lose your home.
Brilliant. And there are kind of options that...
There are options,
Yeah.
People just automatically think, oh, there's nothing I can do, I've got to pay it back at what they want, but there are options available.
Yeah.
We tend to have more luck with creditors than people do themselves,
Yeah.
so it's always best to come and go through all your options with someone and then work out the plan together.
Great stuff.
From there.
Brilliant. So the next question on this bonus round, what should I do if I've fallen behind on council tax, energy bills or rent?
So the first thing to do is to speak to someone. If you are confident enough, speak to your creditors. The good thing with council tax, as you know, the bills will be due probably this week for the next council tax year. Your council tax is only paid over 10 months, not 12. So if you are struggling, you could ask for either your bill to be spread over the 12 months and reduce your monthly outgoing, or if you miss a month, ask them to add it on to the end in the 2-3 months. So usually it's February, March, but you don't pay any council tax.
Yeah.
It's April through to January. We can look at minimum repayments. Again, if it's rent arrears, are you subject to bedroom taxes? That's something that we could look at as well. So there are options, but either if you don't feel comfortable speaking to your creditor, then come and speak to us and we can do it for you.
Great, thank you. Next question. If I speak to a debt advice service like this one, for example, will it affect my pension, savings, or the money I want to leave to my family?
No, we do get this a lot. If you come and speak to us, no, it doesn't have any impact on anything like that. It only becomes an impact if we get involved. So as soon as we start talking to your creditors, it starts to affect your credit score because they know then that you're struggling.
Yeah.
And the likelihood is going to take them longer to get any money back. But just coming and actually talking to us and getting some advice has no impact whatsoever. So even if you don't want to get us involved and you then speak to them rather than us, this is why we give people the option to be able to do stuff themselves, so they can get all the information from us, go back to their creditor, and that doesn't have a severe impact as it does us sending those letters.
Great, that's really useful. Yeah, thank you. And then finally, I've built up some debt on credit cards or loans in retirement. What options are available to help me deal with it?
So practically every option, as long as you meet the qualifying conditions, so we can look at debt consolidation, minimum repayments. It will depend on your circumstances. So the potential for a debt relief order, if you don't own any property, that would wipe all your debts and give you a fresh start going into retirement. If you've got pension or savings, we can look at full and final settlements, where you only end up paying a fraction of the amount that you owe, but you still pay something towards them. So yeah, just come and see us.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Jen, for the answers to those questions, and I hope that if you're watching you've found that useful. I hope that you've been able to hear us with our shift to our equipment last minute. And Jen, you've done really well with all the noises in the background. This is a busy building. There are people in here receiving support and volunteering and getting food out to food bank centres throughout the week, and it's wonderful work that takes place in and through this building. And so we just encourage you to reach out to us if you are going through a tough time with your finances. Either you found yourself in debt or you need some support to access the benefits that you're eligible for, or hey, you might think you might be eligible for some benefits but you aren't sure and you'd like to ask someone the question. I heard a story only just today of someone who asked someone the question, a healthcare professional, the question about their benefits and wondered whether they might be entitled to some more, and so a referral was put through to us, and wonderfully there was an increase in the benefit that they were able to receive as a result of that. And all the time we're seeing people managing their debts in several cases.
But even if you're not quite at that level for debt, if you find that you're struggling, then come and see us for a budget and appointments.
Yeah.
And try and avoid getting into the debt by missing payments.
Yeah.
That we can look at to try and prevent, as well as.
Yeah, that's really good. I like that. So kind of a great deal of our work in the debt space happens when people are at a crisis point. So that's when those letters are arriving, when the debt's mounting up. But we are really passionate about making sure that people don't find themselves in that position. In the first place, I talked in the introduction about building financial resilience, and so part of that building of financial resilience is those budgeting appointments. And so key in that, the connection to income maximisation, so to our welfare benefits team is essential in that. And then, in the worst case scenario, if you are finding yourself really struggling with your debts, our specialist team can step in and provide the advice and support and have the know-how to journey with you through that process. So Jen, thank you so much for your wisdom again, and for your expertise, and for answering those questions. If you have a question that you would like Jen to answer, either go on our website, standrewslive.org.uk, and scroll down a little way and you'll find a way to get in touch with our advice team. Pop an email through to media@standrewslive.org.uk. Drop us a direct message or private message on Facebook or Instagram, or call us on 0151 226 3406. And hopefully next time we're with you, there'll be less distracting noises, beeps, whistles, all those types of things. But yeah, I hope you've... And we'll test the equipment beforehand. But I hope you've found that useful. Do share this video with colleagues, friends, family members, people that you might find yourself alongside who are aged 65 or over and may benefit from some of the insight that Jen's provided over the last half an hour or so. And there was actually some gold in there that would be appropriate to us all. And I think the kind of message that we would want to leave you with is, regardless of your age, regardless of who you are and what your background is, you're always welcome here, and we operate that no wrong door policy. And so reach out to us if you need support by standrewslive.org.uk, media@standrewslive.org.uk if you want to drop us an email, a private message or a direct message on Facebook and Instagram, and 0151 226 3406 if you want to give us a call. And hey, the kettle's always on, and if you're local and want to pop by, feel free to ring the doorbell and a friendly face will greet you, and if they can't see you there and then, we'll make sure they book an appointment. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time in about a month's time, and in the meantime, if you need any support, do reach out. Thank you.